I don't use filler for crab cake. But I
Hollywood.
would crunch these up and mix it in the mayo.
So what we drinking this with? Where's your cup?
You gave me this.
Oh, okay. All right, what you
Oh,
get?
you got. Oh, yeah, you got your glass. See?
What?
the
This
glass.
is not.
I'm gonna use
Is this
this.
what you use for wine and you do like this?
Yeah, that's what
I'm
you
gonna
use for
finish the
wine.
last little bit of the
Okay,
wine.
okay, let me pour that for you.
We on. Thank you, sir.
Let me turn it on all the way upside
Let
down
me
so-
get every drop.
So you look like a lush.
Okay. No more snaps for me. These taste like the
You know the green ones. Those taste to me better than the green ones. The green ones taste like cardboard. That got a little bit more flavor. I like that one.
So where's my... Oh, this is my cup right here. All right. This is like a... This is not Hennessy, guys, so don't think I'm a lush. I am not a lush. Today. I'm not one today. We'll talk about tomorrow when tomorrow gets here. Alright. So what you eating?
snips.
Oh,
Snaps.
oh,
Harvest
snaps.
snap.
What's
What's
going
going on, Miss Tracy? Come on.
Hey.
Where your drink? Where your drink?
I got a little something right
You
here.
know something?
I have no.
I have some water.
Oh, what you
Got
want?
some
Do you
snacks.
need a towel?
Oh, okay.
You need a paper towel or something?
Ah,
Oh shoot, I thought we was.
yeah, we are.
What?
We live.
We are?
Okay, let me be on my best behavior.
Uh-huh.
Be on my best.
I wish he would let somebody know.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's natural, girl. We all right.
Oh, it ain't.
That's for you.
Oh, Lord.
All right.
I have to drive.
I don't drink that, but I might have to.
Might
You
try
need,
to
a,
taste
you,
it.
you need a paper towel.
Okay.
Oh yeah, if you don't mind, can you get a couple of them?
Just bring the whole roll. That's what. Are we cheering? Cheer. What do you call it? What is it? Toasting.
What
It's been a long week and it's only Tuesday.
Tuesday. Let me pull my pants up.
Do I need to set it here?
No, just put it on the bar. Just put it up on the bar. Yeah, right there. That's good.
All right, so ladies. How's your week been? What's happening new in your week, Miss Tracy?
You know what? I actually stayed in the house all weekend. I got home Thursday evening, and and you want to know what I did?
What you do?
Absolutely nothing.
Oh,
I
for a
stayed in the
change.
house from Thursday all the way up until Monday morning
Wow.
when I left to come to work. And what I did though, I did do some cooking. I cooked a couple of meals for my son. I made some cakes for a few friends of mine, and the reviews that I got back was amazing. I actually made a carrot cake with cream cheese frosting, and then I made a pineapple upside down
Ooh.
cake. And then Maria, you know how we are. We gotta have the cauliflower noodles and the
Right,
cauliflower this
right.
and that. So I made uh, Alfredo cauliflower seafood.
Oh.
Mm.
And then I did one with it was with the red sauce. It was the butter chicken sauce.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did that with the flavor of butter chicken. Anyway, I made that, and then I had one of my girlfriends. She said she was hungry, and I was like, "I got you. I just finished cooking." So she came on over. She got a meal, and she was happy. So happy that she posted. I'm going to open up a restaurant soon. I'm just not telling y'all about it right
So
now.
do you do catering?
I do.
So okay.
I do.
Yeah,
I
she's
do.
actually helping us out for Wisdom's Bon Voyage.
Okay, so the bon voyage. Okay, Miss Tracy gonna cater for. Okay,
I
all
sure
right,
am.
all
Greens,
right.
potatoes,
Right.
whatever that's on.
How I go? How I go?
Greens, beans, tomatoes, You
Can't
name
wait.
it.
Right. But it was good to just relax in the house and do what I love to do. So yeah, it was good. It was good.
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 So what about you, Miss Maria? What's happening? How was your week?
How was my week? Long as you. It was really long, and I got two new clients this week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, two. One in La
Yeah.
Plata, one in Laurel.
Okay.
Young guy
So
in Laurel.
these are people who want to rent their home
Yeah,
out.
they want to rent their homes out.
Okay.
My client in Laurel actually wants to rent his for fully furnished. So I
Okay.
was telling him the pros and cons about that. And the young lady down in La Plata, she just bought the property strictly for investment.
Okay, straight up investment.
Okay,
Okay.
she's got a lot of work that needs to be, well, not a lot, it's not in bad shape, but it needs painting, touch up painting.
So you're
There
gonna
was a
walk her
dog
through
in
that.
there. Yeah, so I did all of that yesterday. All of that yesterday. So, yeah, and then I have another client who has a real estate trust driving me crazy.
So
Trying
what
to
does
put
the
all that together.
well, yeah, we're gonna have to dig deep down to the real estate trust and how that works for your client, and we're gonna have to bring in a professional. That's what we need to interview. If you are a professional with real estate trust, make sure you reach out to us. But through the magic of TV, hold on, I'm gonna hold it up. Trace, I'm gonna pull you up just a little bit.
Okay.
So the camera gets you.
You're gonna have to work on this music.
Oh yeah, this Billy who?
I don't know.
Put
Billy
that
Ocean.
on.
Alexa,
Billy gonna put me to sleep.
play some 90s R&B.
There you go. Now you're cooking with hot sauce.
Yeah.
Can we toast? Can we toast?
We toasting
Toast
to
to-
those new properties.
Yes,
New
yes.
clients and many more to come.
Uh-huh. So I'm hoping to keep going. If I can get one new one a week, we'll be good.
Let's see right here, Tracy.
That's even better.
In the lab.
Well, my week. Actually, let me. Wow. I want to. Before we got started, I'll do that second. But my week was actually challenging at first, but because our mindset is always about making sure we go forward. I went down to my drawer, the drawer on the side of the bed, and I pulled out it's a book, and I just started going through it, and I was like, oh my God, no matter what my challenge was, I knew that I could get through it. So what I did, I reached out to the author. And I wanted him to come in and help us, because going through the book, it helped me. It allowed me to see things differently than and some of us are going through some challenges right now in our life, and we don't know how to get through them. So by that, I'm going to actually introduce you to him. But first, let me say, this is Frank Purcell, and you are in the BS of Entrepreneurship podcast. To do that, we enlighten, we enrich, and we entertain. But more importantly, we're going to bring you some of the most influential people in their areas to bring to you, especially because typically, our particular niche is probably real estate investing. But we understand that the mindset of any business person and the actual foundation goes throughout any genre. So therefore, I had to reach out, man. I had to reach out to this brother, and I want to say something, but I'm going to save it. So I'm going to bring him in. Can you come on in, young fella? Man, all right. Hey, this is going to be a surprise. Come on in. When they see you. Mr. Taheed Burke! Hey.
I'm gonna go around here.
Yeah, Mr. Taheed Burke.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Taheed Burke. So
Thank you, Frank.
we are actually going to cover this, because I pulled this out, brother. Succeed anyway, and I want us to kind of jump into that. But what I really want to know, guys, this is why you start a podcast, because you get game. You get game, baby. You get game from the most influential people in this whole area. But just tell us a little bit about how you got started. And I know you're from Cherry Hill. I read how you called yourself a knucklehead, but you got through that. Your mind, something clicked. And I want to actually touch on what clicked and when it clicked for you. But just let them know. Just let them know a little bit about yourself.
Well, first of all, thank you guys for
You're
allowing me
welcome.
the opportunity to talk to everybody here. Um, as you mentioned, I grew up in Cherry Hill. When I was a kid, I think it clicked early because my mother, she used to buy me these clothes, right? And I just could not wear. And I used to always like, I'm not wearing that. I don't want to wear this. And I remember one time I was 11. I was 11 years old. I never forget this day. My mother gave me some shoes, and she told me, "You need to wear these shoes to school." And I said, "I'm not wearing these shoes." So she knew I was not going to wear. So she hid my basketball sneakers,
Oh, wow.
and the only shoes I had at the house was those shoes. And instead of me going to school, there was these big bushes by my house. I hid in those bushes from 7:30 to 3 o'clock
Come on,
Oh,
man.
wow.
because
That's a
I was
long
not
time.
going to go to school
With those shoes.
with those shoes on.
I've been there.
But something happened to me when I was sitting in those bushes. I was able to sit still, and I remember it like it was yesterday. And I started imagining myself being in a different place
Wow.
than I was.
Wow.
So that was the first time. The second moment was the lifestyle of Rich and Famous came on, and I used to play ball and go home, watch the basketball game, and then watch the lifestyle of Rich and Famous.
Okay. Okay.
Now, when I grew up, there was no evidence of anybody in my neighborhood that had any type of legal success. There was no evidence. But when I watched the lifestyle of Rich and Famous, and they talked about the cars, they talked about the food, they talked about the hotels and the quality of life, the vacations, and I felt myself there. I didn't know how I was going to get there.
How,
but I
how old
felt
were you?
myself.
How old were you?
I was like 12,
Wow.
13,
Wow.
you know, when I started really getting into it. And my mother stopped buying me clothes when I was 12 years old because she brought me some lime green pants and this black and lime green shirt. And I said, I ain't wearing that. She said, who you think you are? I don't know who you think
Who
you
you
are.
talking
I'm
to?
not ever buying you no more clothes. This is it. I said, thank God.
Wow.
And at that point, I figured out a way to start making my own money.
Well, what was your first business?
It wasn't a good one. I mean,
Come on now. Come on.
I mean, I'm just
Let's
being
spin the beans,
honest.
let's
I mean,
spin it.
I was a kid. I didn't know anything different, so I started shoplifting. I
Okay.
did have a job during the summertime, and I was shoplifting as a kid. I used to get in trouble all the time. I probably got arrested maybe 7 times when I was a teenager.
Wow.
And the only reason I was doing that was one because I wanted to do bad things. Is because I just wanted a quality of life that I was not
I think that's
given
the
at that
reason.
particular
A,
time.
a lot of
kids.
people,
Yeah.
And nowadays, that's the reason a lot of them jump into that
Mm-hmm.
life because they want the lifestyle. They just don't understand how to get the vehicle to get there. Wow.
But then I'm gonna talk about why I created the movement that I created. It was because of that moment, right? And I got in trouble, but I kept that in the back of my mind of what I wanted to do. And my coach, Joe Gray, he was always in my ear. So I played ball. Basketball changed my life.
Okay.
It really changed my life. And it was two, if I can talk about this, it was 2 pivotal points in my life that changed my situation. One of them was when we were 15 years old, I was bouncing a basketball, and it was about 30 of my buddies. We used to hang in mobs. And we were walking from the shopping center in Cherry Hill. And one of my friends said, y'all want to go get high? I said, get high off what? And they said, Coke. And I'm saying, what are you talking about? Like Coke?
Coca-Cola?
Yeah, like Coke. And I said, like, how? And they said, shoot it in our arms. And we 15 years old.
Wow.
15 years old. Now I played ball. I did a lot of crazy stuff, but I wasn't gonna mess up my body
Because you were
because
an athlete.
basketball was in me, in my genes.
Right.
I was the only one of my friends that said no.
Wow.
They called me all the names in the book, but I let them call me because none of them could beat me, so I let them talk trash, and I just walked away. That day was a changing point in all our lives. Out of 30 of us, that day, 70% of them are dead, was strung out on drugs.
Right.
To
So
this day,
that pivotal point.
that pivotal point, the second pivotal point, when I used to hang uptown, and I came from shoplifting downtown Baltimore. Me and my friend, Big Warren, may God rest his soul. So we went up to a place called Lexington Terrace, and we got ambushed. Boom, we got ambushed. Guns
From
at
the
our
fellas?
mouth.
The fellas?
No, from
The Jump Out Boys.
a crew up that
Okay.
area, which was
Yeah.
yeah. But I used to go all over Baltimore. I thought I could go anywhere, right? So I used to go up there sometime, but they ran on us, and we were making plans to go after those guys. I had all those guys meet at my mom's house.
Your
And
crew.
My crew. And I had to use the bathroom. I went upstairs. And my son was 1 year old at the time. I had a son when I was very young. And something hit me when I looked in the mirror. I just saw this vision of, if I do this, what's going to happen with my life. And then I saw another vision, if I didn't do it, what would happen with my life. And I don't know what came over me, and I just fell on my knees, I'm telling you, right at the back. And I cried for like a couple of seconds. And I said, you can't do this, because if you do it, you'll never be able to turn back. And I went downstairs, and I told my friends, I said, I can't. If we do this, man, it's going to be a never-ending situation. And they was really upset with me. They was
Because
mad.
you had put it together.
Yeah, and they really wanted to go after these guys, but I said, man, I just want y'all to understand why I'm saying no.
At least you had that calling.
And that's what changed. Those two changed my life.
Because a lot of people get it, but they don't receive it, and they go and they continue on. If I don't, oh no, that's okay. I'm gonna keep going with this.
And if
Situation.
And you're having and most of us, we go through a challenge in our life, and then we have that pivotal point. But you said 70% of your friends, like 70% of the time, we might make that bad decision, and that one bad decision will linger on us for the rest of
Absolutely,
our lives.
no question about it.
And we cannot get it off of us for the rest of our life. So, but here's the good part: if you have, let's go ahead and hop this fence, brother. Let's hop this fence. So, there's someone right now, they've had a challenging situation. They're saying, you know what, because I'm in a bad relationship, because I'm a single parent, because my mama left me, my daddy left me, because of all of these situations, whatever they can conceive in their mind, they're coming up with all of these challenges. What would you say to that person right now? They don't have to just quit their job today, who just wants to take that first step. What would you tell that person to take the first step? What should they be thinking about, and what should they do?
I think the first thing a person should do is evaluate the kind of people that they associate with.
That is, I feel it really accurate. You know what they say. You want to do better, you go with people.
Exactly, because
higher
so many people that we think are our friends are really not our friends.
Yeah.
So that's number one thing.
Okay.
Number two, work on your mind every single day, even if it's for 30 minutes. Because if we don't exercise our mind starts to wander.
Right.
And when our minds start to wander, we can't direct it to what we want. It will go wherever it chooses to go. Right? So the third thing is find what your burning desires in life. Revisit, because when we were kids, we had these big goals, these big dreams, things we talked about, what we want to do, where we want to go, who we want to be, and we lost all that. We get in a big bad world, we be around the wrong kind of people, and we lose it. I need to change this chick, because y'all
I'm with you.
gonna give me some 10
I'm with
W. Y'all got some 10 W 40 around here.
I was
I'm looking at
thinking,
the chair with the fur
oh
on,
my
man.
God. In my head, I'm like,
Yeah.
this chair is driving me. And
Yeah,
I
we
really
gotta
didn't
keep
do
it. We
that
gotta keep it
last
real.
week.
There we go. Now here we go. All right.
I
Now
don't think that
we
chair
go.
liked you because
All
that
right.
chair has not made a noise.
It ain't like a big guy. But you got to have a burning desire, right? I mean, you got to have something inside of you that drives you to want to do more. And then here's the thing. This is my key thing about this. We only here for a certain period of time in this world. this thing called life. It's full of adversities, ups and downs, but it's a beautiful opportunity that most people don't have an opportunity to be blessed with. So the joy is the journey, and the journey is the joy. So don't worry about the ups and downs. It always comes and it goes. It comes and it goes. And if you have something deep down inside of you that's driving you to want to do better, those up. I mean, I lost my best friend in this whole world. That was my little brother. The most devastating thing happened to me was my little brother passing away. I mean, my grandmother passed away. My coach, the one that raised me, passed away. But how do I overcome all those things that happened to me in life? Know that God has a purpose for me. God has a purpose for you. And you have to go get what you came here for, and know that everybody's time is limited. We just got to enjoy the time we have here and impact as many people as we possibly can.
Now, I'm just harking back, and I think I was telling you this. This is maybe 25 years ago, I'm only 35, so
Exactly.
go figure. But I was hearing this brother speak, and he doesn't realize it, but he truly impacted me. And one of the things I was struggling with at that time, I was just entering into the financial services arena, and I was struggling with my belief level on why would anyone listen to me? And I heard you get up and you said, I have a PhD. And you paused, and I was like, yes, I know that brother. I knew it. I knew it had to be something on him. He said, I have a public high school diploma.
Exactly.
And now, I'm gonna tell you, Taheed, I borrowed that. Since that day, I borrowed that line, and I always hear me say I have a PhD from FHS. It's a public high school diploma from Friendly High School. And and so, but when you say the PhD part, most people pause, and an image comes into their mind. But I gave you credit the first 3 times I used it.
Now it's yours.
Yes. Okay. So I
There
gave you credit, and my belief level when I said, man, if this brother can go from zero and struggling to a millionaire, I know that I can do it. And he has a high school diploma. And then the way my mind works, I'm always, because I'm an athlete, I'm a competitor. I'm like, well, he know better than me.
Exactly.
You know, if he can do it, I can do it. Now I just have to figure it out. And so one of the keys that I think you talked about that day also, and there was and I think I still may have the notes actually, Taheed, from 20-something years ago. You said about finding a coach or a model. Can you just go talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think that anybody that achieved greatness in life, they had somebody that mentored them. They had somebody that mentored them along the way, and they sold out to mentorship. You know, a lot of people would like to have success, but they believe that they don't need any help. See, most people's brain have got them to where they are now. In order for you to go further, you have to rely on somebody else's level of understanding until you get to the point where you can understand.
Say that again. Say that again.
You have to rely on somebody else's level of understanding until you can get to the point where you understand.
Man, that's a bar.
So I had to sell out. I'm going to just go through some of my mentors. I had to sell out to my coach. When I played ball, I had to sell out to his coaching. I had to sell out to his discipline. I didn't like him telling me run 10 laps as soon as we get in the gym. I didn't like him when we missed the layup, we had to run suicides. I didn't like him getting mad when we lost a game. But I learned something. I was sold out. Then I met a guy when I got in trouble the last time. And the judge said, I'm going to help you before I send you away. I'm going to put you in a program.
Okay.
And I met a guy named Greg. I was 17 years old. This is a year before my life is going to change either way.
Right.
He took me under his wing. He believed in me. And he taught me something that changed my life. I sold out to him.
Wow.
Then I met a guy named Andy Young when I joined a business called Primerica. Andy took me all over the place. I don't know what made him feel that I was somebody that he could coach, but I followed him, and he taught me a lot about business. He introduced me to somebody named Bullet Bob Turley. Bullet Bob Turley played for the New York Yankees.
Okay.
He won 5 World Series rings. He took a liking to me when Andy introduced him to me. He started coaching me. I started watching him. I started studying him. So all the steps along the way, I was surrounded by somebody that helped elevate my thinking.
Wow. What were some of the challenging issues that they told you? Just give me an example of one of the challenges that they threw in front of you, and you said, you know what? I don't know if I'm gonna do this, but you did it anyway.
Well, most of them was along the lines of production and also accountability.
Can you talk about accountability?
Well, it's like, well, I need you this place at 5 o'clock in the morning. Don't tell me where we going. Where we going? Just be there at 5 o'clock in the morning. So he would tell 10 of us to do that. If you wasn't there at 5 o'clock sharp, we pulled off.
501, you were gone.
501, we was riding down the street, and if we were riding and you pulled up, we ain't stopped. Accountability. So when he started teaching me those, and you were like, why are you doing that, man? We're in the financial service business, man. We're not playing basketball, we're playing football. But it was about being accountable. And that's some of the things that helped shape me.
Okay.
To being able to do it on my own and not relying on anybody else. So now you become the mentee, and then you can become the mentor because you've been somebody's mentee for so long. You know what it takes to be a mentor.
You said something there, Taheed. That's another bar. That's a 16 right there. That's a bar. Whoa.
16.
Yeah, 16 is a bar. Now, you've gone from this kid. You've decided in the bathroom, I'm going to make the decision. I'm going to, in one way or another, my life is going to change when I open this door and I come out here and I go talk to these fellas. Some are going to go with me, some are not. And I think, let me stop right there for a second. I think a lot of us get into a situation where we're afraid to make the decision that you made because in our mind we've already played that 70%. We already know the number. 70% of them, they're not going to want to be with me anymore. And because we want to be liked so much, we wouldn't make that decision that you did at a young age of 15 years old. You made a man decision. I mean, and as grown-ups, we want to, we'll follow people around now as grown-ups. And how does that wanting to follow around others and wanting to be quote unquote liked, how does that affect a person's business?
That is the most what's the word I'm looking for? Detrimental thing you can do in life is want to be liked. Because that means you're going to do everything throughout your whole life that pleases others instead of pleasing yourself.
So you mean we should get rid of Facebook?
No, Facebook is a marketing mechanism.
But people want those likes. They gotta be like, and they do.
But
A lot of people do.
Yeah, they do a lot of things.
yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I mean, but people do it. Some people do it because they want attention.
That
But
too.
then if you watch some people, they do it to inspire others. They do it to market themselves.
Right.
So 70% of the people do it for attention. But you got 30% that do it for a purpose. Right? So here's the thing about the like situation. I don't care if people like me.
That's
I just
me.
need just respect.
Absolutely.
Just respect what I stand for. Because if you keep judging your decisions on whether somebody like you or not, you're going to be standing in a mirror or walking down the street talking to yourself.
Can you say that again? Because I'm with you on
You're
that
gonna drive
100%.
yourself crazy if you keep doing what other people to doing things to make people like it.
Exactly.
Right.
Forget
That
about
part.
that. Because I'm gonna tell you something right now. If you're not happy within yourself, you can't make nobody else happy if you're not happy.
Right. That's number one.
Everybody, at the end of the day, when you look yourself in the mirror, you got to ask yourself, am I happy with this person I'm looking at?
That's right.
So many people look themselves in the mirror because they go around all day people pleasing. And when they look in themselves in the mirror, they don't like what they see.
I don't even know what they see.
You got to know what you want in life,
Okay.
and you got to like what you see within yourself.
First.
Yes, sir.
I remember hearing the speaker, and they said, would you like to be my broke friend, or would you like to be my rich mentee?
Exactly.
You have choices, because the friend is going to coddle you and say, it's okay, okay, well, you didn't want to get up, it's okay, I understand, but the mentor is going to say, no, it's 501, you weren't there,
Exactly.
peace, we out of here.
Mm-hmm.
The friend is going to be like, oh, just give him 5 minutes.
Exactly. That's right.
No,
And everybody, we all
love
get
it.
caught up in that.
I love it, I love it, I love it.
Time.
He'll learn to be here on time tomorrow.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Be out.
the next
That'll
time.
be me.
Right.
Maria, let's go.
So now let me ask you something.
Right.
So when because you've been traveling, and if matter of fact, if they want to keep up with you on your Instagram, what's your Instagram?
It's Taheed_Sharif, and my Facebook is Taheed Burke.
Okay, all right. Now on your Instagram, I follow you mostly on Instagram, even though I do follow you on Facebook, mostly on Instagram. But I see, and I'm inspired about some of the things, like, so you have your rose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see you out there with you were with Riddick Bowe and what's the other boxer?
I think I'm in a second.
Yeah. I saw.
People come to me in a second.
Yeah, I saw you. So how'd you get into the entertainment part of this?
Well, it's just when I go places, I meet people, and then I introduce myself, or they introduce themselves to me, or we just sitting around with chat, and we just build a relationship. When you put yourself in a different environment, you meet different people, right?
Say that again. Say that again,
Put
Taheed.
yourself in a different environment, you meet different people. See, if you do the same thing all the time that everybody do, you're gonna see the same people, and they're gonna do the same thing.
Every single time.
I ain't going nowhere where I see the same people doing the same thing.
Every single time.
I mean, that's the most boring thing in the world. I want to go
agree.
where there's some excitement, some energy,
Yes.
some life. I want to live the American dream. Does that make sense?
Man.
Makes plenty of sense.
Woo wee. All right. So now when did you? And I don't know if you feel this way, but when did you finally one day say, you know what, I think I made it, and this feels good.
That is a great question. I don't ever say that. But what I do say is, I'm able to impact people's lives. I say that. I am able to help our community. I pay out $60,000 a month to families that work for me. I bought my mom a house, paid cash for a house for my mom. I did a Hall of Fame for my community that changed the way people think. I changed the way my sons
You were
think.
one of the first people, I think, well, if not the first person in your community to start a Hall of Fame.
Nobody in a country have started a Hall of Fame for their community. In the country.
Yeah, that's major. That's major.
Basically what it is when I grew up, I mentioned to you guys that I had no evidence of anybody that had success, right? So when I became successful, or relatively successful, I said, you know what? There's some people in our community that done some things.
Okay.
We had a singing group, professional singing group. We got a guy that was played on Australia national team. Whose statue was outside. We had one of the top lawyers in the country that came from our community. I said, what if I have something, some of the coaches that change people's lives? So I created a Hall of Fame where we had these people come in. They flew in from Australia. So I had the influence to bring these people in. And we had the Legends Award for people that achieved some things but just wasn't as high as a Hall of Fame.
Okay.
And then we had the Hall of Fame. We had 500 people at the Walter P. Carter Center in Baltimore.
Wow.
Our next one, we had 600 people at Morgan State University ballroom. And we reckon that people came from everywhere that grew up in our community. People came from Baltimore, the newspaper, the editors and all that came in, and they're like, we never seen nothing like this before. Once I did that, it changed the mindset of everybody in my community.
And they looked at you differently also.
Yeah.
They definitely looked at you differently. They said, this is a brother who's doing something for our community, who's making things happening, and people, they want to be gravitated. They want to come towards someone who's doing something. And that's one part of marketing too.
And when I first did it, when I did the first one, people were like, what is he coming here for? He coming to make money in our community and all that. And I said, no, nobody have to give me anything, right? I'm going to fund the whole event. It just costs a little bit of money to get in. We had food for everybody. We had everything. So when they saw that I was willing to give and I didn't come in there to take, it took everything to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Yeah. So someone who's sitting at home right now, and they're feeling, I think I can. Oh, but my finances aren't together. How did you go about? And because it's kind of in it. How did you go about helping yourself to get financially stable, secure, wealthy, and then how did you teach others how to do that? What was the steps that the first person right now saying, I want to do it, but all I had was $100 in my checking account?
Well, you can start. Hey, man, you can make millions of dollars selling toothpicks if you believe in it. You know that somebody make a lot of money selling toothpicks.
Somebody does right now.
You can start from anywhere. I started cutting hair in the Navy. I started cutting hair for free at first. Didn't even charge. Then all of a sudden, I said, can I cut your hair? I said, I do it for free. I do it for free a couple of times. And I started getting good. I said, okay, I need to charge you. I used to line people up outside the bathroom on Sunday nights on my ship, cutting hair. I went overseas and I saw where you can buy belts and watches for $5. East St. Laurent, Pierre Cardin belts and stuff like that. And I said, I'm going to buy them because these guys thinking about going and get drunk. I bought those belts. It didn't cost me a lot. I started slowly but sure. You can start within. It can be something really small that you probably say, well, it's not, I can't make a lot of money off that. It's the small things. Then I started saving money. Then I joined Primerica. Then I started saving my money, investing in mutual funds. And I started investing in stock. Then after I started investing in mutual funds and stock, I started saving my money and saving my money. And I lost money. The stock market crashed in 2001. Remember that 9/11 hit? And I lost a lot of money in the stock market. And all I could think about is what I could have done with that money instead of have all of it sitting around. So I said, I need to regroup. So I regrouped. I saved my money, Once I got my money to a certain point, I said, nah, we got to do something different. Then I started paying cash for houses in Baltimore. People are like, why are you buying a house in Baltimore? You crazy, man. It's run down. It's not. I said, all right, whatever, man. I need to stash some. I need to have some money somewhere else other than in the stock market just in case something happens.
Just in case.
My stuff crumbled like it did before. So I started buying houses. I started renting them out. I started buying more. Start buying more. Start buying more. Those houses that I bought that people said I shouldn't buy, one of them cost $27,000 now, worth $250,000. So I start building my money. So you gotta start with building a business. It could be anything.
Okay.
Saving your money. Once you accumulate a certain amount of money, then you have to start building your money. Then you can start building financial independence. And then you can start using leverage then. So I started my construction company from there. Right? I started a construction company.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
I have a construction company. I had it for 12 years.
Man.
But people look at me, you don't have no construction company.
Wow.
So I started part-time when I was at Primerica. My construction company became a multi-million-dollar construction company.
Okay. Love it. I love it.
How long you been with Primerica?
28 years.
My aunt, she probably been with them for about, you might know her,
What's her name?
Martha Guttrick.
Yeah, I know
That's
Martha.
my aunt.
I know Martha.
That is my aunt.
When I
She's been
first
there for,
joined, yeah, Martha
I
been there over
can't even
30
remember.
some years.
And
When
sh
I first joined, Martha was one of the first people I met.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember when because she's been trying to pull me in. Tracy, you're a people person. There's no reason why you can't make this money. Da, 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 da. She still says that to me right to this day. And
Primerica's
I
a
just
powerful
saw her
business.
the day before July
Yeah,
4th.
Martha, Geraldine. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
her
Yeah.
sister. Yeah, yeah,
That-
yeah.
I, I um I remember when you talking about the Baltimore properties, and I'm reminded this is way back when I didn't even know what I was doing in the real estate, and the book just said make a lot of offers. So we were just making offers, making offers, making offers, making offers, and they were getting rejected. It didn't matter because we never even saw the property. So at this time, and what I didn't understand and what I didn't know is that the bank, when they went through the foreclosures, they can only have a certain amount of properties on their books. Didn't understand that, didn't know anything about that. So we were just submitting offers. One day out the blue, the bank calls and they says, "Hey, we have this property. It's in Baltimore, and we'll accept." I think they told me like $10,000 or something for it. Never even saw the property. Don't even remember it. I think we had put maybe like $20,000 a bid on it, but they had to get it off their books because they were getting audited. So they told us 10,000. We said no. We said we'll give you 1,000. So they said, well, we can't do that. Okay, no harm, no foul, because we never saw the property. I don't know anything about the property. Less than 2 hours later, they called us back. They said, well, we've talked to the board, and the lowest we can take is 1,500. Now, when had they had a board meeting in 2 hours
Wow.
to talk about this one property? 1,500. Contract, 1,500. We didn't never saw the property. We reached out to an investor in Baltimore, gave the property to him, and wholesaled him the property for 20 grand.
Wow.
We made what, 18.5 without seeing the property.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Without ever seeing a property, you made $18,000. And because we were just submitting off, it didn't matter if they said yes or no. It really didn't, because only one person said yes,
That's all it takes.
and it was $18,000 for that.
That's all it takes. Man, we're scared to jump. We're scared to get out of our box, man. We're in this big box. And we just go there and we hit our head and we back down. You know what? We used to have this bee. I don't know if y'all used to go, like, we used to catch bees. And we used to have this jar. So the bees, when you first put them in, they'd be bomb, bomb. They'd be trying to get out, trying to get out for the first 15 minutes. If you have a jar this big, this round, with a top on it, you take the top off after 15, 20 minutes. The bees will never go back up to the
Stop
top.
it. Get that analogy again. Describe that to me one more time.
You catch a bees, you put them in a jar, close the jar. When they first there, they're going to be, bam, trying to get out, hitting the top, bang, 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 bang. And we watch them. After like 20 minutes, they got tired of trying. They saw there was no opportunity in their mind to get out of that jar.
From this level.
So you can take the top off the jar. Just don't move it. Have it sit there. And the bees will stay down about it.
Wow.
Till one discovers that there's light. Once that one discovers there's light, he goes out quick.
So you're saying when Taheed Burke decide, hey, I'm getting out of Baltimore and I'm going to mentor others and I'm going to show them how, and I'm going to show a path.
Exactly. All it takes is one. Here's the next thing. You can tie down a 4-ton beast with a rope this thick on this chair, and he will never move if you can control his mind. It happens in a circus. They tie the
I've seen
elephants
it.
to the
I've
little
seen
stool.
yes.
And the elephant will not move until you come over and untie it and grab him for you to go. You know why? Control his mind.
Controlled him since he's been a pup. Tied him to something that he couldn't get away from, and even though he got larger and physically could get away from it, they just put the string on him, and the string.
His mindset did not allow him to move. And that's what people, we can just break through, just little bit at a time, 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 we start getting belief. The biggest challenge we have is lack of belief.
Like a
And the reason we have lack of belief, lack of awareness, or seeing examples of how it can look like. From the same, like me, I mean, where I came from and what God has blessed me to accomplish, now I can reach back and say, you know what, I'm like you. I struggle just like you. I mean, I don't wear, I don't even own a tie. I don't own a tie. During the day, my work clothes is athletic attire.
Okay.
So people are like, you can do that? Doing that? I can do that.
PhD, brother. I told you, PhD. And those 3 letters changed my life.
And I want to say one thing to you, Frank. Here's the double challenge with it. When some of our people become successful, we like, oh, you got to get dressed up. You got to wear a suit. You got to wear a tie. You got to be stuck up. You can't be, a people person. You can't be average and ordinary. So people like, I don't want to be that. But I can be like that. I can be somebody that's average and ordinary. And that gives more people hope.
Like I said, brother, seeing how you have developed, just seeing how you have developed and grown and the growth that you've had, because even and you can tell the story, because even from the challenges of maybe getting ready to lose your house, and you said that you were on the verge of, hey, you know what, I'm just going to sell my house. But what made you not what made you not sell it? That also, but tell the people, what did you do instead of coming up to say, you know what, let me just give up and sell my house?
Well, here's where being in the right environment will help you. So I told one of my friends at the time, I was making maybe like 70, 80,000. My friend was making 200. I said, man, I think I'm gonna sell my house, man. I'm going through all these challenges with my business. My brother just passed away, man. He said, what? Sell your house? He said, man, you better rent your basement out and charge them the same amount you paying your mortgage. I said, huh? What you say? I went home. I went down my basement and walked around. My basement was fully carpeted. It was real nice. I never went down there. I put an ad in the paper. Within a week, I had somebody sign a lease, paying $850 a month. My first house, I bought my first house when I was 24 years old. My mortgage was not $850 a month. My mortgage was $800. I made enough money to start. I got a security. I started focusing on paying my house. Let me tell you what I did after that. I started saving my money. My business started growing. So I saved my money. My business started growing. Then you know what I did? Canceled my lease down to the basement. I fixed my basement. I made it look so good. It was awesome. I moved out of my top house, out of my house, into my basement. While I was building my business, I was getting $1,500 a month. I wasn't paying no mortgage. I was saving all my money. Then I got my first 6,000 square foot house built.
Wow.
That sounds like something you would tell
So
one of the clients, Maria.
it's the mindset. It's the mindset. It's the environment. So the key you said, the first thing that you said, what was the first thing you would do? Find the environment that's conducive to you building, and that environment, because you didn't ask your friend who was making 20 grand.
No.
You asked your friend who was making 200 grand.
Exactly.
And he had a different thought process than the person who was making 20 grand.
Hey man, Frank, if we go to lunch, and I'm not hate to put money on it, but if we go to lunch with people making $50,000 and $100,000 a year, if you have a conversation, just a general conversation that day, and 2 days later, go to lunch with people make $500,000 and $1 million, the conversations is different.
Totally.
People that make a certain amount of money tend to stay around a certain amount of people that talk about a certain type of things. When you get outside of your element and you hang around, see, I hung around millionaires. I had to become a millionaire.
You had no choice.
I mean, my friends used to say, man, we're going to be FI. We used to call it FI, financial independence. That's all they talked about. I was 23, 24, 25, 26. That's all we talked about. Because we knew if we became financially independent, we can control our own destiny. Nobody can ever put your thumb on you. They try to. They continue to try to, but as long as financially independent, you have leverage. You can impact your family, you can impact your community, you can impact your friends. That's why I wanted to become financially independent. I didn't want to become financially independent just because I wanted a lot of money. It's the things that money can do. It's not the money itself.
So now, I'm put a pause right here for one quick
Get that
second.
thought together, Frank. Get it together.
If you could go back to that little kid who was 15, maybe 18 years old. Now let me take it to the 15-year-old. And he's sitting in there, and he's in the corner, he's just on his knees praying to God, send me a sign, ready to cry. What does the Taheed today tell that 15-year-old little boy, scared little boy, sitting in the bathroom? What does he tell him?
Well, I told my son, I had a meeting with my son. I had a meeting with all my sons. I had 3 sons when they were 16, and I told them, 2 years from now, you're going to be 18. And your life is going to change. What I would like for you to do is start preparing for your life. You got to start thinking about, what do you want to be in life? What do you want to do? What do you want to do for your mother? What do you want to do for your family? What kind of example you want to be? And I want you just to know that when you get 18, time's going to fly. And know that all these kids that you're growing up with right now, that your friends and all that, people are going to take different paths in life. And y'all going to end up in different places. Just make sure that you end up in the right place. That's what I told my sons.
Wow. And that's typically going to make them think. What and I think I kind of say the same thing, based on the decisions that you make today. That's what we tell Wisdom, and we tell Gabby. Based on those decisions that you make today are going to determine what your life is going to be like. And the reason that I like to invite people who think like you is because, and I'm being selfish, guys. I'm being selfish here. Because Maria and I and Tracy, we can beat our kids upside the head as much as we want to, but until they hear what we say from someone else, then the light bulb will go on. They be like, "Oh, it's like, you know what? I was just trying to tell you that 3 years ago."
Exactly. And they act like they heard it first time. I never heard that before. Like you did? Exactly.
Wow. So I'm excited. So now, guys, the book is Succeed Anyway. If you have any challenges in your life, do what?
Exactly.
If you lost your job today,
Succeed anyway.
if your spouse has left you,
Succeed anyway.
don't care what happens. Somebody, you got a flat tire today, and your car just broke down. What you got to do?
Succeed anyway.
Succeed anyway, guys. Go. How can they get the book?
It's on Amazon. They also can get it directly from me. They can email me at succeedanywayedm@gmail.com. Also, I'm going to talk about something. I created a brand from that book. I have T-shirts, a T-shirt brand now called Succeed Anyway.
Okay.
Quality T-shirts.
I want one.
Really, really nice. I mean,
So get a T-shirt. What do we do to get a T-shirt?
just reach out. You can reach out to me, but they can email me at
Okay.
succeedanywayedm@gmail.com, and then I'll send them a signed copy of my book.
Wow.
And also, I have another book launching in the next week. Is quotes for entrepreneurs, daily living. It's 119 pages. It's really nice. It's a powerful powerful book. I've been working on it for like a year now, and it's basically finished, and we're going to print here.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I just love to chew with positive men, even old women, just positive minded people who can help us grow and expand ourselves. Because just like we tell the kids, well, you need to make up your bed every day. Well, why? Because you need it to look nice every day. Oh, I'm getting ready to get back in it anyway. It doesn't matter. Make it up.
Right.
So your mind can this I'm just making an analogy with your mind. Get your mind right, build it up every single day, and it just becomes a habit.
Absolutely.
It just becomes a habit. So I love it. I love it. Any more questions, Miss Tracy?
Do you have tank tops for women that say
I have the
succeed
women's
anyway?
shirts are the best because they're like part spandex and cotton. It fits really, really, really nice. The women love the shirts, and it looks really good on women.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I have a unisex one, but the women are the best. Their brand is really good.
Maria?
So you have a site where we can see these shirts?
Yeah, you can go on my Facebook page. You can see it, and
Okay.
also Succeed Anyway on Instagram. I just started that page. We're launching our website soon. But yeah, I just want I want it to be a way of life. You know, like you were just talking about, if you're having these challenges, do you what? Succeed. So if you got a shirt on that called Succeed Anyway, and you going through challenges, you looking in the mirror,
Just look in the mirror.
and you're like, oh man. We got to change people's mindset, right? We change people's mindset, we can change the activity. And if they can change the activity, they can change the result.
Mm.
So let me ask. So I'm assuming from the
Talk to the mic.
conversation, he always does this. When I'm like, I'm getting up there
We wanna hear you. We wanna hear
messing
you.
up my train of thought. Anyway, you have multiple streams of income, I'm assuming. So you're still in Primerica and
Yes, I am.
have the books and the T-shirts and what else?
Let's talk about the multiple streams in because people don't understand the process of it.
Okay.
Because they think you need to have multiple streams income right away. No. I focused on Primerica for 10 years. I didn't
Okay.
think about nothing. I didn't do nothing else. It was all about Primerica. When I saved my money and I became a little free, I started studying the tycoons in America. And all of them start branching. So I said, okay, construction. From construction, buying real estate. From buying real estate to writing a book. From writing a book to having a brand tied into that book. Right? So then I also have what you call digital real estate.
Talk about that.
I don't want to go too much in detail with it,
Okay,
but
just
you
the clip
basically
note
what
version,
you
clip note
do is
version.
their site when people have advertising online and they're marketing their business somebody owns that domain.
Okay.
You can buy those domains. You have the companies that do that. You can buy those domains and you can get a percentage of all the money that they spend on these ads with these domains.
Oh, wow.
It's called digital real estate. So again, once you build your business, save your money, then you can build your money. So you built your business, right? You save your money. Now your money got to go hunt because if your money sits still,
It's just like stagnant water.
exactly. So that's the things that I do. I just start. And most of the stuff it ties all in. It's like in a circle. It's not like something that's way out.
Because they're
there.
all
It's
business principles.
They're all together.
Right. Okay.
And you can run several businesses at the same time, but you cannot build several. You only can build one business at a
Okay.
time.
Okay.
You got to focus on building one. But once you build one business, you become a businessman, businesswoman. Then you
Right.
can start making business decisions to start doing different
Right. So you just didn't just jump out there. You had a plan.
things. Exactly.
You said I'm gonna build this, and you didn't say I'm gonna build it for 10 years. I'm gonna build it until I reach this particular goal, and then once I reach this particular goal, now I can branch off into other aspects because this is self-sustaining. Now I can branch off into to a clothing line or to a book. Now I can put these funds to go to something else. There,
And I still
awesome.
run my primary business.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Still running because I love what it stands for.
Because you're always been, again, when I came into, I wasn't in your organization,
That's right.
but you were that type of person that said it doesn't matter.
That's right.
I want to help
remember
you.
it.
I want to help you win
I remember.
anyway. I want to help you win anyway. And if I help you win, you'll help someone else win. And even if someone else may be, it all works together.
I want to say this: most people don't want to help other people because they think that if they help somebody else, that it'll affect them. But hey, man, your blessings don't come from nobody but God. If I help somebody, my reward is not coming from that person I help.
Correct.
It's coming from the Creator. So the more people I can help, the more people I can inspire, the more blessings I'm gonna get. And that's the way we have to look at it. It's plenty. It's plenty out here for all of us.
More than plenty, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, guys, we're not gonna hold Taheed up, but man, I do appreciate you stopping by, brother. Man, come by anytime.
Very inspiring.
Yes, anytime, my brother. So, this is your partner, Frankie P. We're gonna get on out of here real quick. The book is Succeed Anyway. The author is Tauheed Burke. Follow him on his Instagram, on his Facebook. Again, I forgot the website, but I'll put it down below as far as how you can get the book. And remember, guys, when you change your perspective, you change your life. When you change your perspective, you change your life. When you change your perspective, it doesn't matter what you're going through right now, you can succeed anyway. And guess what? You're going to change your life. Peace now. Let's turn that music up, baby. Turn that music up.
I hope that was okay for you guys.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
I wish I knew.